L. Reppin' that star, I do it so well. D-C-O-L.
What's up? What you got?
D-C-O-L. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep rippin' live until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep rippin' live until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L, ripping that star, I do it so well. It's Puma. D-C-O-L. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep rippin' live until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep rippin' live until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L, ripping that star, I do it so well. It's Puma on the toes, but the stars on the clothes. I'm Starboy, fresh at the DF Dub. Yeah, I'm a hard hitter. Don't stare to fit, it'll ego hit you. What is you saying, man? Look at the swag. Please do forgive the brag. I'ma pull up later in the Cowboy jag. Don't you slip on the drip, I'm flossing the sauce. Go so hard for the star. Yeah, that be win, lose, or draw. If you take a L, get the F off my block. Cowboys win. Watch yours, pull up the shots. Really can't help it, got a star status. Even got it tatted on my arm. Yes, we be 5 ring strong. Left a little room cause it's quest for the six. Starboy really reppin' this shit. Reppin' this shit. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep rippin' live until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep rippin' loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me.
Yeah, tell me who the #1 fan. Yeah, Mr. Westside, I'm the man. Dallas Cowboys from my head to the toes. They better recognize who the fuck I am. Damn, haters run they mouth like a bitch when they team ain't shit and my team stay lit. Yeah, I'm about to rep this shit to the day I die in an all blue casket. If you wanna get with a club with love, tell Star Status Westside sent ya. Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. Emmett Smith is our main. Game time, prime time, all the time. Your team ain't never on TV like mine. That's because we different. We America's team and we run this. Like Zeke runs circles right at defense. Jerry Jones, that's nonsense. Let the coaches coach. And I'll have a smoke. And I know y'all wanna toast to that.
Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep rippin' live until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep rippin' live until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. Reppin' that star, I do it so well. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. Reppin' that star, I do it so well. D-C-O-L. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep rippin' live until there's no more left in ya. Cowboy, fresh at the DF Dub. Yeah, I'm a hard hitter. Don't stare to fit, it'll ego hit you. What is you saying, man? Look at the swag. Please do forgive the brag. I'ma pull up later in the Cowboy jag. Don't you slip on the drip, I'm flossing the sauce. Go so hard for the star. Yeah, that be win, lose, or draw. If you take a L, get the F off my block. Cowboys win. Watch yours. Pull up the shots. Really can't help it, got a star status. Even got it tatted on my arm. Yes, we be 5 ring strong. Left a little room cause it's quest for the six. Starboy really reppin' this shit. Reppin' this shit. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me.
Yeah, tell me who the number one fan. Yeah, Mr. West Side, I'm the man. Dallas Cowboys from my head to the toes. They better recognize who the fuck I am. Damn.
What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. Yo, in 2020, I've teamed up with my hot boy, Jalen Smith, number 54, to bring you guys some of the most exclusive eyewear known to man. CEV. I mean, everybody's wearing them. Make sure you guys go over to CEVcollection.com today and use promo code CEV West Coast to get yourself a hot boy discount today. What up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we are live in the building, man. How are you guys doing on this Sunday, man? I know some of you guys are sneaking in church right now. I was on my way to church right now, and then I realized that my church has a social media platform that I helped kind of create, and I can watch the church from the heezy for sheezy, and I won't get sick. Nah, I'm playing with y'all. Hey, y'all, I'm in the house. Hey, I told y'all I was doing a self-quarantine for the entire family this weekend. Why? Because we gotta make it to the goddamn NFL season, so we ain't taking no chances over here. So we in the house. But yo, man, I'm in the house for this morning, man. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. I know you guys are in your you're probably on your way to church, or you're on your way to the kitchen, wherever you're on your way to. I appreciate you for sliding by and hollering at your boy West Coast this morning. Y'all already know I'm supposed to have my CEVs on. I done called somebody 3 times in the house, but you know how y'all women are, man. Y'all like, it's funny because I mean, hey, if you got one of them women who got a phone that you pay the phone bill every month consistently and she still don't answer the phone, say I. I'm going to tell you this right now. If your wife calls, if you can call your wife the first time and she answer the first time, she don't love you, man. I'm telling you, man. She ain't busy enough. Because mine, I got to call her 13, 14 times before she get on the phone. But y'all already know what it is, man. My problem's not y'all. Let's get to the problems that is all of ours. And not even a problem, it's a solution. Hey, y'all, the CBA was passed today. You guys know we had Chris Harris on this past weekend. And Chris Harris was talking about, obviously he thought that, that CBA, he actually said he thought it was going to pass. I'm just keep it real with you. And he actually said that he felt that the votes were already had been put in. But guess what? It is official today. The NFL did pass. The players voted to pass the CBA. I think it was like 1,011 to like 9 something. It basically came down to 100 votes at the end, and most importantly, it is passed. So we're gonna talk about that for a little bit. We might have Boss Cowboy sliding through here in a little bit, man. If he does, then you guys will hear the ding dong when he comes in. You already know that's Boss Cowboy. Hey, man. And I want to shout out to all the supporters. The supporters are at the blue. They're at the bottom right here in blue. All those names that are going through there, I appreciate each and every one. I see Austin up in there. I see Austin twice actually up in there. I gotta fix that. Marvin, I see you up in there. Terrell, I see you up in there. Teresa, I see you up in there. Buddha, I see you up in there. Bob Heck, I see you up in there. Dwayne, what's up with you, man? I see you on the. Hey, I was talking to some of my scouts. And every morning, we have every day, I do what's called a scout call. And basically, that's whenever when you become a supporter, you get this little tab over your name. And every day, I go live because basically what I can do is I can just hit #supporter and I can release videos that only the supporters will see, right? So every day I use that as kind of like my supporter like emergency line. And we have an emergency call pretty much every day. I go live every day on there. And yesterday when I was live on the supporter line, on the supporter 1-800 line, we talked about this. I kind of talked about this, man. And my what I was telling you guys is like, I'm gonna just keep it 1,000 with you guys. I felt that it was gonna pass. Why? Because there was so much money involved. Like, let's just be real. Like, and even if we think the CBA is a good thing or a bad thing, but let's just look at like how the world works. How many laws have passed that weren't necessarily good for the people? But since there was so much involved with either money or advancing something that somebody wanted, it got taken care of. Now, when I say it got passed, it doesn't mean that this is a great thing for the players. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but it does let you know that there is some new rules that are going to be going down in the NFL. So I want to go through, I did a video a couple weeks ago, and I kind of talked about it a little bit, but I want to go ahead and go through the hot points. There's 3.5 pages of things that are going to be changing. Now, obviously, I'm not going to talk about every single thing that's going to change because we do have enough time, but I just don't think y'all gonna hang on that long. But I'll put out the actual document that was sent to me by a player. I'll put out the actual document that was sent to me, forwarded to me by a player that has everything that's gonna be going on. I'll post that on my page so that you guys can actually read that and understand what you're getting and what you're not getting. All right, so this is what the new CBA includes. First off, it's an extended playoff field of 14 teams that will take effective in 2020. Only the number 1 seed in each conference will get a bye. So this is what it's basically saying. No longer will you have, like last year's playoff, you had the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed get byes. They didn't play in the first week of the playoffs. But under the new system, they're going to add an additional wild card game. And I'm going to let you guys know this. This is a ratification law, meaning big word, West Coast with the big words. That is a ratification law. That means it is going to take place right now, currently. Now, if I use that word incorrectly, just roll with your boy. Don't put it in the comment box. Inbox me. But, I think that's what that word means. But, basically what it means is it's going to be effective right now. Actually, I think ratification means past and coming forward. But y'all know what I mean, man. It means it's going to be effective right now. That's one of the few rules that's going to take place in 2020. Pretty much everything else that I'm going to be talking about, except for also the tag rule too. Those are the 2 rules that are going to take place this year. Everything else is going to take place 21 and on. Now, the good thing I'm going to tell you guys about the CBA, you know what that means? That means that there will be football for the next 10 years. Why? Because this is a contract that is binding for 10 NFL seasons. So the cool thing about it is we know for a fact that we are going to have football for the next 10 years. That's the number one thing. Like, there will be football for the next 10 years till 2030, until they have to redo it again. So that's a good thing. There will be no lockout in 2021. So this first thing I said was there's going to be the extended. There's going to be a 14 team playoff system, meaning there's going to be an additional team that's going to be added to the playoffs. Now, what I would assume they're going to do is basically like what they're doing, kind of like with the NBA. They're going to basically take like the top 7 teams and then the number 1 overall pick team. Like, say the Cowboys are the number 1 overall pick. We go 14 and damn, you got to go 14. Wait, you go 14-2 because. Well, wait. Okay, so the 17th game was going to start in 2021. So so this year Cowboys go 14-2 because remember this season we're only playing 16 games. So if we're the number 1 seed in the NFC, we will get a bye that weekend. So we won't play. Instead of there typically being 2 teams that don't play, we will be the only team that'll sit at home. Then the next 6 teams behind us will play we'll play 3 games. Now, what I'm assuming is going to happen is you're going to have they'll probably do it like this. The number 1 seed team will get a bye. So that means the number 2 team will play the number 7 seed team because typically the worst team will play the best team. The best team will play the worst team. So your number 7 seed team will play the 2 seed. The number 3 seed team will play the 6 seed. The number 4 seed team will play the number 5 seed team. Now, under that scenario, I should have just did a picture. It would have been easier if I did it. But now, if you're wondering who will the Cowboys play for their first game, you will play whichever team that has the lowest seed. So if the 7th seed wins, then we play the 7th seed. If the 6th seed wins, then we play the 6th seed. If the 5th seed wins, then we play the 5th seed. So whichever is the lowest, well, actually it'd be highest, but whichever is the highest seed less, that's who the number 1 would play. So after that week, that first initial week, you're going to have 4 teams left. You're going to have the number 1 seed who did not play a game. And then you're going to have 3 teams who just won a game. And then the NFL is going to pick whichever team has the highest seed. So if the 3rd seed is available still, if the 5th seed is available there, and then the 6th seed is there, the Cowboys would play the 6th seed. That's how that works. I'll get some diagrams on this because I know sometimes I be talking really fast and y'all don't catch it as fast, but I appreciate y'all. And also for all my supporters, for everybody that says supporter, we will be going over this in detail, and I will have a question and answer session in the morning. So if there's anything that the supporters miss, if I don't get your question in here, remember we do the scout call every single morning, so you can ask for more detail and I'll go over to more detail. But hey man, y'all heard the ring, y'all heard the doorbell, y'all heard the doorbell. It was not ding dong ditch. Boss Cowboy, if you can please get up on Instagram, that'd be good, because man, we're rocking on Instagram over there. YouTube, what's up with you, man? I know YouTube is like, man, Boss West Coast, you so disrespectful. You've been on here 3 minutes and ain't even said nothing to us. My bad. I was trying to get the information out. But hey, man, we got Boss Cowboy on the line, man. Boss Cowboy, say what's up to the people.
Yo, what's up, man? I'm get on this Instagram. How everybody doing? Love you.
Hey, man. Man, today is a good day, man. It's like finally, like, you know, we finally got some headwind. Like, obviously,
How everybody doing? Love you.
2000. Hey, man. Man, today is a good day, man. Obviously, the season hasn't started, but when you start hearing stuff like this, as far as you know, CBA getting signed and, you know, free agency, like, man, that gets you naturally into that mode for you to start getting yourself ready for the 2020 season. So, Boss Cowboy, the first thing I just wanted to go through before we even talk about like kind of our thoughts on the CBA, let's just kind of understand, allow everybody to understand what they're getting. I just kind of went over the extended playoff field of 14 teams, which will take effect in 2020. So that means in 2020, there will be 2 additional teams going into the playoffs this year. So think about this, man. Like under this new CBL rule, think about this. The Dallas Cowboys would have made the playoffs this year. A lot of people don't even know that, but think about that, because the Dallas Cowboys, we were the last seed to get eliminated. Remember, because the Philadelphia Eagles took that last spot. So, you know, kind of crazy scenario. If this would have been effective last year, the Dallas Cowboys would have been a playoff team. Get off my quarterback. All right. Next thing we're going to talk about, Boss Cowboy, is and also, Boss, I'm going to let you remember that only the number 1 seed in each conference will get a bye going forward, and that's going to start this season. What's your thoughts on that, real quick? Think about this. We would have been a playoff team this year. Get off my quarter. Dak would have been a 3. Think about this, Boss. If this would have happened this year, Dak would have been to the playoffs 3 out of 4 years. Just because of one rule change. One rule change puts the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs last year. And Dak Prescott is a 3-time playoff. He made it to the playoffs 3 times, 3 out of 4 years.
That's unfortunate.
Wow.
For Dak. You know, that's unfortunate for Dak. But this CBA helps him. I mean, it helps him a lot because it takes the uncertainty out and it takes the excuses out of Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, because you have to, if you Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones in these contracts, consider the uncertainty of an unagreed CBA. But the fact that it's now done, now you can go forward with budgeting and know how to secure these players. And now that the revenues is pretty clear that it's going to be increased, and they already pretty much had a 2020 number for the salary cap of 198.2 million. That's what they're saying. You can budget going forward. So I don't see how under this environment and with all the terms being clear, that either Cooper or Dak don't get signed like literally within the next 2 days.
Hey man, that's actually that's a really good point, man. But what were your thoughts exactly on the additional playoff game? What are your thoughts on that? And that's actually going to take place in 2020. That's going to be something that's going to take care of this year right now.
Yeah, 2 thoughts on the expansion of the postseason would generate estimated about $70 million to even the players. So first of all, the players are winning on that because they're going to make more money. But then it's going to be more entertaining because a bigger bracket is it's something that's more entertaining, you know. And like we've been saying, and we were saying pretty much the entire time, like the most important job is to get in a tournament. That's the most important job. Like obviously you want a certain record, but you want to get in a tournament. So anything that increases the chances of a team getting in a tournament where you just really got to kind of get hot at the right time, I mean, I'm all for that, and that's really good. So on that aspect, everybody wins in terms of the fans and the owners. They surely win, and the players win on money. So generally, it's a win-win-win. The only people that's gonna really suffer, in my opinion, are going to be teams that have been dominant the last 10 years in their playoff pursuits because it's going to hurt them, like New England, because teams like that, it could extend the season, you know?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be harder for teams that manage well in the post, but for everybody else that's just trying to get in the post, it's a good thing.
Yeah, and shout out to my boy Richard, man. He says been rocking with us for a minute. And I appreciate you, brother, for becoming a supporter. Yo, man. I mean, I like it too. I mean, this is the thing. They're gonna have to address that 17th game pay. They're gonna have to, because a playoff game, you're gonna make a ton of money off a playoff game because ticket prices go up. Ticket prices go up exponentially. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, you're already making money. Then also think about this: the revenue in a playoff game, as far as like TVs and stuff, they're gonna make a ton of money. And I think that's why the Dallas Cowboys, for them, it was so hard not for the Dallas Cowboys, it was so hard for players in general who, I mean, for the most part, who know how to count, for the NFL to tell them like, hey, we're going to be making more money off an extra playoff game and an extra season game, but at the same time, we're going to pay you guys in a lower amount of money. I think for the players, that was kind of hard for them to understand. Now, from what I hear, they're definitely working on something to get that ratified as far as that 17th game. But, I mean, playing an additional game will make a player more money if you're not trying to tell them we're going to pay you $250,000. Boss Cowboy, you ever been trying to do a deal with someone, they try to slide you like a price that's just ridiculous, and it kind of make you go like, what? And you can almost feel like they just did that just to see if you was going to take it or not. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait, time out. What? No, I'm just playing. What I meant to say is $25. Okay. I'm about to say, I know you didn't say $5. You know what I'm saying? But what they was really doing is in the, can I say this? I don't want to say this on Sunday, but it's called nut checking you. You know what I'm saying? Where they basically see, oh, do y'all really want to play football this season? You know what I'm saying? Because you got to remember, it without a CBA getting passed, they were technically almost holding that over their head. You know what I'm saying? So I think the NFL, the commissioners, he says they're saying we're echoing real bad. I need y'all to go over to YouTube then.
No, that's me. I know, because I'm gonna turn it down.
Okay. He's gonna try to fix that right now. All right, so yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm for it, because this would have definitely made the Cowboys we would have been a playoff team this year. You know what I'm saying? And I like it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes there do be those cusps where it's like you literally have two teams with the exact same record, and it comes down like, I mean, who's to say the Dallas Cowboys were a better team than the Philadelphia Eagles? But who's to say that the Eagles were a better team than the Dallas Cowboys? We had the exact same record. You can't say, come on, man, because you beat a different team than we did. Come on, you end up winning the same amount of games. So in that facet, I like it. You know what I'm saying? In that facet, I like it. Hey, guys, on Instagram, we have a little feedback only because we're trying to do something that has never been done before. We're trying to go live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram all at the same time, which has never been done. They're not even supposed to be doing it because they don't work together. So just bear with us. It's going to get better as they upgrade their systems and stuff. But there's only so much we can do. New Way Plumbing, I appreciate you. Let's get to the second thing. I think we kind of talked about that for a little bit. I just wanted to give you a couple minutes to get on there, get on the show, and get your bearings. All right, now, also, something that's going to be changing is a 17-game regular season and a 3-game preseason starting in 2021. So you're technically playing the same amount of games. You know what I'm saying? I will say this. My only thing is, like, I would have rather kept the 4 preseason games. The reason being is because, man, there are a lot of opportunities that kids get in the preseason. And I am not for taking opportunities away from guys trying to make it into the NFL. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe we need to do a better system of making sure that those preseason games are valuable and that they're worth something. But I feel like taking opportunities from kids who are trying to make it in the NFL is so that you could put it at the end of the season to make more money is just kind of like frivolous to me. Like, in the long run, I don't see how that I mean, obviously it's going to benefit the NFL because you're making more money, but I'm thinking about the overall talent. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also thinking about the Dallas Cowboys, who's a team who uses preseason games as something serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, we found Miles Austin. Remember Miles Austin, that guy? We kind of found him in that game, in a preseason game. Ended up being pretty good for the Dallas Cowboys. So you're still taking more opportunities. You're taking opportunities from guys who need opportunities. So that I'm not with. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, it is what it is. What's your thoughts on that real quick before we go on our next one?
They just gonna have to manage it different, and they go find a way to find a happy medium. So it's gonna be, you know how they usually do. The last preseason game is almost kind of like the
It's
cut
really
bowl,
that first.
right?
It's really that first game that don't really mean nothing, because it's like that first game. It's just like everybody just standing around.
Yeah, it's the first game and the last game is where they go find a happy medium, because the last game with the Cowboys has generally been cut bowl, right? Where that's the game that most of us will say we waiting on somebody to really pop off for this last roster spot. And by the last game, most of us pretty much on a 95% probability can tell you who's going to be on the roster. You know, it's usually coming down to, like, for instance, when Rico was here, we already knew Rico had to pop in order to make that last roster. So we just knew that, and it was kind of like we was waiting to see if Georgia Local was go pop, and he really didn't get his reps. So I think they also have a happy medium with that, because they expanded the amount of roster spots. So it's, yes, you're going to have less opportunities to view in terms of the public, right? Because the preseason is the public's time to really look at the candidates. But the coaches and everybody that's evaluating, looking at them every day at practice and everything else, you know? So I believe that, you know, it's going to hurt the fans' ability to have their own assessments on who's the best and who's not the best and who deserves and who don't deserve type of analysis. But at the same time, I think with the expanded roster spots, I think it's a happy balance on that.
Yeah. My only thing is, I wish they would have did that in 2021. The reason why I wish they would have did that in 2021 is because of this coronavirus. You're already limiting naturally the kids' opportunities. Why? Because there are a lot of teams right now who would normally be out on the road at senior days and at pro days who are not doing that. Why aren't they doing that? It's because, man, the coronavirus. That's why. So it's like, my thing is like, I'm cool with it. I just think they should have did it in another year, because there's going to be a lot of opportunities there's going to be a lot of kids that don't get opportunities in the NFL this year because of that. Why? Because you got to think, like a guy like Kayvon Frazier, who had a stress fracture in his foot and who wasn't able to go to the combine, but the Dallas Cowboys was at Michigan, so they slid on down to his school and took a look at him because they were already in the area, ended up drafting him. You know what I'm saying? Off of his what? Off of his pro day. Also, think about a guy like Donovan Wilson, a guy that they saw, but a guy that they fell in love with at Dallas Days. Dallas Days is when they allow, I forget the exact amount of numbers of players that get to come, but as long as you live within 100 miles of the stadium, you're able to come down and try out for the Dallas Cowboys. And and I don't want y'all to think that this is some exclusive to the Cowboys, because every NFL does it, every NFL team does it, but ours is called Dallas Days. And when you're, you know what I'm saying, when you live or play in that vicinity of the stadium, you can come down and you're able to take a look at that guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, those are opportunities that you're not gonna be able to get. You know why? Because those things won't take place. You know what I'm saying? That's just realistic. You know what I'm saying? Think about this. There was a report out that Bill Belichick totally skipped the whole combine and went and talked to some kid at Eastern Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Like some kid from Eastern Tennessee, defensive end. You know what I'm saying? Because he had heard about him. But think about that. It's situations like that are not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Think about Rod Marinelli, how he fell in love with Tristan Hill. We fell in love. Why? Because I was on his 21st birthday. We got to hang out and we got to talk. All that stuff's not happening. You get what I'm saying, boss? Like this draft is going to be different, man. Like, and you know what's the cool thing about it, boss, is I'm not saying we predicted that all this craziness was going to happen, but we did kind of tell y'all at the beginning of this year that this draft was not going to mean anything to us. And that's why we didn't it's almost like we set ourselves up for this in a good way, boss. Because think about this. We've been saying that this whole time that we are not going to fix our team in the draft. We're not going to. Why? Because we had so many holes. And that this was actually the season that we needed to focus on free agency. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, not even to really talk about the coronavirus, because I know we're talking about the CBA right now, but that is how the coronavirus is going to affect the NFL, because we don't play until August. So I'm pretty sure this will be taken care of before then. But if you're wondering how this is going to affect our sport, that's how it's affecting our sport. You know what I'm saying? Because all those kids who would normally get workouts and all those kids who would be able to come down to the stadium and work out for the Dallas Cowboys isn't going to happen now. Like, think about this. The Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Browns, Chicago Bears, and I think it was one other teams pulled their entire scouting department off. They pulled them all off. And you want to know why that is, boss? Is because if I work for you, Boss Cowboy, and you send me to do something, a job, and I get a virus, and you knew it was able, sorry, bro, but I'm suing you. What are your thoughts on that, boss?
Yeah, I mean, the coronavirus is something that, to me, really helped the CBA, because the whole purpose of this topic is the coronavirus is the CBA. I think it was a blessing to the owners, because, I mean, the timing couldn't be any better for the owners, because, generally, what most people say, you never take the first, contract. You always at least receive the first contract, and then you go back and forth. But the fears, the stock market dropped, and the stock market dropped to levels that we haven't seen since 1987, and the fact that the private sector is leading on the seriousness of the virus. Like, a lot of people saying it's media driven. No, it's not media driven. It's private market driven, because when you see Nike saying we shutting down all our stores, when you see unprecedented stuff like March Madness canceled. March Madness was canceled. And it's not about the coronavirus being the Armageddon, because it's not. It's a 3.4% death rate. But in terms of like opportunities, and as far as opportunities, like, for instance, opportunities like you were saying, where you pull in the peak season of talent evaluation, you tell everybody, not every team did this, but some of the teams like the Redskins, like, scouts, come back home and don't come into the office. Y'all need to self-quarantine until we kind of figure out what's going on, right? That's showing you that social distancing is very important to some, especially people in leadership. But that coronavirus really, really helped this agreement. It really did, because they were saying that the initial wave of votes was mostly no.
Yeah.
But in the last minute,
everybody started changing.
People start looking at, hold on, they just shut down. And it's almost like this. The owners are already mean. How mean are they going to be if they have to shut down a season?
Hey, boss, you know what it did also, boss? It gave them a taste of what no money looks like. It was like a lockout it was like a free lockout for the NFL.
Right.
Like, y'all don't want to sign this? Okay, this is what it's going to be like. You see how everything's shut down, you can't do nothing? That's how it's going to be.
And it could be worse.
And it will be worse, because there won't be no football. Call your NBA friends up and see what they're doing right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, call up your NBA friends and see what they're doing.
At least in a lockout, the owners could still make some money, go get them some more JV guys and put them on TV.
They have other businesses, bro. Jerry Jones has
they can still make money, but when it's looking like, hey, like, no, the NFL is gonna lose billions this year. Like, how mean do you think they're gonna be? How mean do you think they're gonna be when they losing the whole season?
Hey, boss, they said the NBA is set to lose $466 million on ticket sales alone. That's $500 million on ticket sales alone. That's not even considering the merchandise. And let's just be real. On our side of the field, merchandise is bigger than ticket sales. Like, this stuff right here, there's way more people wearing these right here than actually going to the game. You know what I'm saying? That's why our tickets are so expensive. So this is where you're going to lose money at. You know what I'm saying? But man, that's a phenomenal point, man, because it's like, you know, a guy like, if your team is built off of like, and let's just be real, for the most part, our culture has been finding diamonds in a rough. So this, you know, telling us that we can't go out and do our job, like, bro, that was bigger for like teams like the Cowboys, teams like the Patriots, teams that go out there and really know how to find these diamonds in the roughs. That hurt us. Because if you're a team because you got to think like this, if your team's not good and you got a bunch of draft picks, you know what you're going to do? You're going to tell everybody to go home, and then you know what you're going to do? You're going to sit at home and you're going to watch film. Because that's the only thing you can do. Like whatever you thought about Joe Burrow is going to stay exactly the same. He's not going to be able to change it. If you think he's an okay quarterback, then guess what? He's going to be an okay quarterback because he's not going to be able to wow you at his pro day. You know what I'm saying? So the one thing about it is, it's like this, you know, if it's going to be hard for kids' stocks to go up or down. You feel me? That's why I was like, I talked about this the other day. I was like, dang, my boy Cal Duggar, salute. You got in right at the right time. You know what I'm saying? He got his wave going right when his stock start going up. Everything shut down. So guess what? There's nothing that can happen between now and the draft to make his stock go down. Nothing, because nothing's happening. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, and that coronavirus basically has hurt most people's traditional ways of evaluating the talent at the last
Explain
minute.
that.
So for instance, like, it's a lot of people and a lot of scouts that they'll love your tape, but they can't even really say in their evaluation process their last gut feeling about you as a candidate until they put real eyes on you. You can't do that now. Or you can, but it's going to be harder because this coronavirus is going to cause people, this coronavirus is going to cause teams to not go out and watch as many guys at the last minute that they would have watched. It's going to hurt even during free agency, because what you got to do in free agency, you got to do testing, you got to fly people in and all that kind of stuff. So the whole market of how you evaluate is going to be tainted. like right now, like, it's going to be fully tainted. And so West Coast, I think you said the other day when we kind of partially started discussing this is going to be a year of evaluation by data.
Yeah, boss, they said they can't hear you on Instagram. Hey, Marquise over Top Fan. Hey, Marquise, trying to make that next move up to supporter so you can get on that supporter call in the morning. But my boy Marquise says, I do think corona virus shutting down and stopping teams from us accessing these pro days and other sessions. I think free agency is more important now. You know what's crazy, Marquise Rando? You are absolutely right. That's exactly what me and Boss Cowboy been saying at the beginning of the season. And the cool thing about it is, think about this. We have been telling you guys that it's going to be so important because of, you know, the nature of our team, because the way our team is set up, we don't need no rookies. We need some grown men, dog. Like, we need some grown men with some real bills. You know what I'm saying? Like think about this. Like Tristan Hill, I love him to death, but his bills wasn't big enough. We brought in Michael Bennett, and we instantly got impact. We brought in Malcolm Smith, and we instantly got impact. You know what I'm saying? Bring in guys who got some grown man bills so you can put some grown man responsibilities on them. And hey, man, I want to give a shout out real quick. We got a celebrity in the building. We got Starboard Entertainment on the line. What's up with you, man? If you guys have heard the last two songs we've done to our intro, man, that has been Starboy Entertainment, man, putting out some I call it gangsta cowboy rap. I was talking to G last night. We dubbed it gangsta cowboy rap, but sometimes he ain't from the West Coast. But hey, there's still some gangsters out there in Texas, but we call it gangsta cowboy rap. I love it though. So shout out to Cowboy. My boy Starboy in the building. Hey, Tyrone, while my boy Boss Cowboy gets set up on Instagram again, we got Tyrone. He says that the XFL is doing pretty good. I mean, they were doing good until they got shut down. XFL got shut down last week. Their season's permanently over. I mean, and that's another thing that sucks about this coronavirus too, is, man, I hate it for these kids that were in those extra leagues, man, who are now not going to get those checks, who paid to move their families across country and all that other stuff. In NFL, you get, they kind of help you out with that. In the NFL, a lot of people don't know, when they trade for a player or they bring a player in, a team will put a team up in a hotel, or they'll put them up for at least 90 days. You can live in the team facilities. That's part of the reason why the Star put a hotel right beside it. You know what I'm saying? But they'll do that. But I mean, you got to think like this for them kids in the XFL. You don't got that, bruh. Like you know, and that's just being real. Like them dudes, they got their family living with families. You know what I'm saying? You got to, you know what I'm saying? While they're out here living in Dallas at a hotel, at an apartment, trying to live this dream. That's the kids who I'm like, damn, that sucks, man. Because them dudes had 75 G's coming their way. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of sucks. I you know, that kind of hurt. I ain't gonna lie, that set me back a little bit. Boss, you ready?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to see if they can hear me. Can y'all hear me on Instagram?
All right, man. If y'all can't hear us on Instagram, I'm sorry. Y'all going to jump on YouTube. We're trying, you know, Instagram ain't trying to let live shows get down, so you know we just trying to be sneaky and slide y'all on. But we rocking on Facebook, and we got 65 people on Instagram. We got 26 people on YouTube, so we rocking. Hey, what's up with the super chat, man? What's up, what's up with your YouTube? Is it turned on over there? Let me know if it's working or not. Let me know about throwing some in there. You know what I mean? But, hey, man, and shout out to the supporters. Natrine, I appreciate you. Peter, I appreciate you. Bob, heck, you be irritating me sometime, but I do appreciate you. Marcy, what's up with you? Mario, hey, Marcy keeps me up. Marcy is kind of like the scout mom. Like she like anytime something's happening in the nation, she always gets back to me. So I just want to let her know I appreciate you. What's up with you, Miss Tracy? She'd be like, West Coast, you need to pray for such and such and such and such. I'd be like, all right, what's going on? She'd be like, because I was on their Facebook and it looks like they're going through something right now. I'm like, all right, I forgot, I got you. It'd be stuff like that. You know, so shout out to Miss Marcy. Shout out to Rodney. Shamir, what's up with you? Austin, I got your name in there twice. That means you double blessed. Oh, Willie, it's working. Super chat is working. We got $1. Appreciate you, Willie. Hey, Big Willie, if you got a question, make sure if you got a question, please throw it in there or a statement. If it's worth $1, I got you. So, hey, let's talk about this last thing before we talk about this tag and how it's gonna affect us. Ew. Okay. Hey, let's talk about this. Okay, so we're gonna be 2 spots are gonna be added to the game day roster. 2 spots will be added to practice rosters and 4x22. So one thing that we were saying earlier, boss, about how they're taking away opportunities on the field, they're still gonna give you opportunities to keep guys. Because think about this, there were guys who were on the bubble that we had to let go of or we had to trade away because we didn't want to get like Jihad Ward. Like he was a bubble guy. We should have kept him, but he was a bubble guy, right? So we kept somebody else and let him go. Well, think about this. With adding those 2 players, guys like that we'll be able to keep. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the Cowboys, and I'm going to tell you guys, we be having some damn good bubble guys. Like our bubble guys always go, and they don't go win Super Bowls. That's not what they always go do because that's a myth. But Anthony Hitchens, Ward did, Damian Wilson did. It's a bunch of dudes that went to the Chiefs and got Super Bowls. But our bubble guys always go ball, bro. Like they always go ball. So to think about this, boss, we can now keep some of those bubble guys that we was like, they better not release this dude. Oh my God, they released him. Think about that, boss. You get to keep 2 guys on your roster and you get an additional 2 guys on the game day roster. So you remember your active roster is 53, but your actual game day roster, 47 people suit up that can actually play in the game. So instead of having 47 now, you have 49. So you know what that means? You can have yourself an extra what? Defensive end, defensive tackle, offensive line. I don't really care about another wide receiver, but I do care about them dudes. The wide receiver go down, we can still play. Tyron Smith go down, we can't play. You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts on that, boss? And what my boy, and also answer Tyrone. Tyrone got a $2 question, man. It's a good question, too. He says, how do you feel about more roster spots? So Tyrone, my boy Tyrone Chatch, and my boy Boss Cowboy got you. Go ahead, boss. Answer Tyrone's question and give me your thoughts.
Yeah, that
damn good question, Tyrone.
Huh?
I was telling Tyrone that was a good question. My bad.
Okay, yeah. So the 2 roster spots is exponentially good for us because Jihad Ward was one of the best examples. Is in that year that we had to let go of Jihad Ward, it wasn't because he wasn't a good player. It was because at that time defensive tackle was deep, and then Antoine Woods was like the late emerger. You know, because remember he slapped the dog snot out of Fredericks and beat him up. And Rod started him the next day.
Hey, Frederick started that too. It's funny because I posted that video and like Antoine, because me and Antoine Wills was working on the video this weekend because I like to get players' input when I do the video. And he asked me to take it out. He was like, you can leave it on yours, but I just don't want to put it on mine because I don't want no drama. And I get it, man. But I'm thinking in my head, bruh, Frederick's the one that Frederick started that. Fredericks looked him in his face and told him, I will kick your effing A. That's what Travis good old nice Travis Fredericks, who we think is just a big old teddy bear. It's just a big old teddy bear. Fredericks looked at Antoine Woods and told him, "I will kick your effing A," after he lost the rep. I'm gonna go back on mute.
Yeah, I mean, and that was even before Fredericks knew that he had that disease. So
he was hurt, but he didn't have no problem saying that though.
Yeah, to whoop an All-Pro, that's what bolted Antoine Woods. Now, nobody knew then that Frederick was flawed and not himself. So to see that, it almost artificially boosted Antoine Woods, but hey, nevertheless, Antoine Woods was still earning and deserving of that roster spot, you know?
Because he backed it up.
Yeah, he backed it up. And when you bully the best center in the league and beat him up, that gets everybody attention. Like, well, what are you? Like, if you could do that, what you gonna do to the rest of the center? So Jahai Ward ended up kind of being the odd man out, but it was looking like we just had a deep room. So now, but then that hurt us because guess what? Fast forward, when did we need Jahai Ward exponentially? That same year in the Rams game.
17 games later.
17 games
later.
And that's when attrition caught up to us and injuries caught up to us. And we needed him. Like, we needed depth right then. That's the game we needed Jahai Ward. Not saying he would have won that game, but Jahai Ward is durable and probably would have likely helped us and would have got us a couple of more stops in a close playoff game.
Bro,
so
he just got a contract. Like,
he just got a contract, and it's a lot. I see a lot of people knocking him like, "Oh, I never liked him." It's like, nah. I mean, I liked him, and I loved him for depth. And then he was a classic Marshalls pick, the type of guy. I mean, the type of guy that's gonna be a former second rounder that you're able to get cheap, and that's for depth. That's gonna develop, especially on the rod, who at that time it was a clear miracle worker. I wanted that to develop, But anyway, to your point, and your bigger point was the addition of the roster spots, and then different people at the bottom of the roster that can sneak up on your team instead of going to other teams and get contracts. Like, we should all be sick of that. Like, maybe this time we get Weber instead of going to Kansas City. We actually keep him, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe we keep, Ward. Like, there are certain people that could have stayed on and been contributors now that we had to let go because they was at the bottom of the roster. So it helps us. It helps job security, and it's going to help the league also be more competitive and keep teams out of real tight spots.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. All right, let's go on to our next one. So a reduction in penalties and players who test positive for THC, eliminating game suspensions for the new CBA will run through the 2030 season and allow teams to use only. Oh, well, that's the last one. We're going to talk about that. So let's talk about this reduction in penalties for players who test positive for THC, eliminating team game suspension. I was going to light up a blunt right now, but I know we got sponsors, so I'm not going to do that. But hey, man, you can smoke a little hee-hee. What's your thoughts on that, boss? The Ricky Williams rule. Don't y'all disrespect him. I love David Irving, but you didn't do that. You did not do that. That's the Ricky Williams rule. Go ahead.
Well, with the marijuana, man, I sure wish they would have did what my article said do and implement the buy and hold strategy in full. They did it slightly and partially with Randy Gregory, but that clearly opens up the door very clear for who? Randy Gregory, because there are no more punitive damages. And we've been saying this was likely going to happen for a long time. The two things that we predicted that was going to happen in the CBA, which was pretty obviously coming down the pipe, was the elimination of penalties for marijuana and less power for Goodell, right? Because we said this, and it was more so by gut instinct. Like, Goodell, if it wasn't for the way he was handling punishments, would have an excellent reputation in terms of his growth of the NFL. He would be impeccable, but him handling the penalties like with Zeke and Ray Rice and Randy Gregory and David Irving, and then it's like, come on, man. Like, so they got rid of that stuff. So it opens up opportunities that I wish we would have been ahead of, like Alden Smith, David Irving, Randy Gregory. David Irving is still an option. Like, it's a whole lot of people that want to be like, no, I'm done with David Irving and stuff like that. And it's like, no, with somebody with that much upside, you get him back and you be patient on getting him in shape. That's what you do.
Alden Smith just applied for reinstatement too.
See, and we were saying, and literally we were saying, bro, last year, bro, sign everybody that's already in the program, wasn't we?
Yeah.
We were saying get Alden Smith.
Even if you can't sign them, you know what you do, boss? You show them that you're wanted, and when they come ready to come back, they be like, yeah, I'm gonna go mess with them. Just like with La'el Collins. When La'el Collins, the reason why La'el Collins signed with the Dallas Cowboys is because he got accused. Well, he didn't even get accused. His girlfriend got murdered. A girl that, I don't know if it was a girlfriend, it was a girl he was messing with, got murdered.
He was an
ex-girlfriend. Got murdered, and he was not a suspect, but his name was in the investigation.
Questions.
Right? It was in the investigation.
Questions.
So him and his agent felt that it was best because they didn't want to drop in the draft, so they just removed themselves all the way from the draft. Right? Well, all these other 31 teams was like, well, we ain't dealing with you. Figure out what you're gonna do with that first, and then we'll holler at you. Right? Well, think about, what the Cowboys did. We sent an entourage down there and was like, yo, we like you, we love you. When it work out, if it don't work out, then hey, we'll shake hands. You'll have a friend. Worst case scenario. But if it do work out and you're good, you're gonna have a team that's gonna want you. And guess what happened? 2 days after the draft, everything got dropped, and he was a free agent. And every team in the NFL was calling La'el Collins. And you know what he did? He was already in Dallas.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about
and that's
him
why
is
he keeps
had
giving
the
us these
option
deals.
to choose who we wanted to.
He was a
and
free
the
agent.
people
He
that
could have
were
went
ahead of
anywhere.
it was Dallas. Dallas was ahead of it, and he specifically said this when he signed. He said, the reason I signed with Dallas is because every other team treated me like I had the plague.
Yeah.
And he said Dallas was the only team that treated me like with the respect of true innocent until proven guilty. Yep. Now, that's one thing we all got to say, because we all done knock Jerry. We done all knock Steven.
But Jerry will ride for you. Jerry will ride for you.
We cannot talk about Jerry and Steven when it comes down to being slow to judgment, bro.
Yep.
They are the best in the league at that. I mean, the best.
Yeah. Because all my homies is in trouble right now.
They messed up on Mouse, but ever since they messed up on Mouse, they have learned from that lesson. They like, bro, if you got some troubles, it's like we the team that say, me too. Like Jerry say, I done got in trouble too. I got a pitch out there with some stuff that don't make me look right.
Stay away from them hoes, Jerry. Stay away from them hoes.
Yeah. So it's like we got at least we got an owner that says I'm not perfect too. So and he treat the guys like that. Because if you look at our fan base, this time last year, when the news broke of the David suspension, indefinite suspension, and Randy Gregg, they all broke at this time last year. The fan base wanted to throw them away. Oh, I can't stand them. I can't stand these guys.
Those potheads.
And West Coast and I was like, no, actually sign those guys, because we looking at something coming down the pipe to where if you can kind of keep those guys just around, you go get them cheaper. And And Steven and Jerry was thinking the exact same way, because on March 28th, if you go to the Dallas Cowboy YouTube page, you'll see Steven say 2 weeks after David Irving retired smoking on Instagram.
He didn't retire. He didn't retire, though. Can I say something real quick? Because my boy Tyrone Church, and I appreciate you, he says, I don't like quitters like David Irving. Can I set the record straight? David Irving did not quit football. He did not quit. David Irving got suspended indefinitely. And then 3 days later, he went online and said that he was retiring from the NFL. That is the equivalent of you being fired from your job on Saturday. Then on Monday, you sending them a letter and saying, I quit. No, you was already fired. David Irving was suspended indefinitely for 3 days before he retired. Do you know what the word indefinitely means? That means you can't come back. So that's why, and I'm gonna tell you guys something. Like, we supported David Irving in his advocacy for marijuana, but we did not support David Irving in the way he did it. And we actually said that. We told him that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we did not support the way he did it. Why? Because
made it harder.
Yeah, exactly. From a guy living in California who is I ain't gonna call myself a pothead. I never do that to nobody, but someone who partakes in the facilities. I will say like this. I'm looking at him like, bruh, you made it seem like we was all just like trying to get high just to get high. Like, that's not what it is. Like, I know real life people who really need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about this. I know, you know what I'm saying? And it's cheaper for Southern Cal. I don't want to go into the benefits. You Google it yourself. But like you the way he handled it, especially being in Texas while it was illegal, that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? But the NFL as far as testing and things like that, man. The NBA, D'Angelo Russell got caught with marijuana, a pipe, and a blunt, and a lighter, and I think it was a grinder I saw in there too. Getting onto an airplane in New York.
But brought the whole kit.
Then he brought the whole kit, bro. And you know what he did? He was going home to New York, right? He got caught. Do you know a week later he signed a $112 million contract with the Golden State Warriors and has been traded since then?
His career would have been over if
bro,
he would have been
like
in
nothing. Bro, he's been on 2 different teams since then. That dude had made $120 million since then. Nothing from the NBA. And then you ask me, what is a more contact sport? NFL or NBA? Do you really want to be zooting? What's safer? A guy high on some oxycodones running into another grown man? That doesn't sound. They don't even let you drive on oxycodones. On the pain pills. They don't even let you drive on that stuff.
Yeah,
but you guys are okay
and
with
West
them
Coast,
running.
you starting to really
ridiculous.
hit. And you really starting to hit on what the real issue was with David Irving, because a lot of people don't pay attention to the message. Like West Coast coined the term, he called it Kanye Wested, right? So Kanye West is for those who don't know, he's a rapper. And then sometimes he can say things and be correct, but he does it so bad that it kind of takes away the message. That's really what David Irving did. But if you look at the message, he's right, because you also dealing with a guy, David Irving, who suffered and his own record with concussions, head injuries, had a car accident based on a concussion and different stuff like that.
This is stuff that happened to him in college too.
So, and he really put in the light the hard decisions that NFL players sometimes got to make. Like, do I take oxys and drugs, or do I go with what makes me feel better? Right? This herb, right? So and there are certain players that are truly in that catch-22. And there are players that get addicted, like West Coast with his Achilles injury now, literally told me this on the phone. He said, "Boss, I have to be careful because they're trying to prescribe to me oxy and I know this stuff can be addictive." And that's crazy that, like, this is a father, West Coast, a father who literally, because of his knowledge, said, even though this medicine is supposed to help me, this is stuff that has been known to actually cause people to go into a gateway to oxys, to all the way to heroin. And that's true from sports and from even just injuries. So people not looking deep enough when they say stuff like, "I don't want David Irving because he smokes marijuana." You have to also kind of listen, research, go deeper into some of the dilemmas of being an athlete. Like, I know you saw that commercial where that guy comes out and and it's a basketball commercial, and he say, "Tonight, this is going to be my best night of my life. But 5 years from now, I'm going to hurt my ACL and I'm going to get addicted to oxys and I'm going to die in an overdose." That's real. They putting out that commercial because this is the type of stuff that happens. And thank God the league began to look at it like from a more humane standpoint and stop treating people that use marijuana like they're just potheads. So everybody that's just saying that need to kind of sometimes look a little bit deeper, because then you become judgmental and you become wasteful, because now you don't want David Irving and now you don't want Randy Gregory, even though the things that they got in trouble about, they won't anymore. So that makes you wasteful.
Yeah.
And that's not wise. It's like, so, because my question is, and I said this when I wrote the article on the buy and hold strategy, because it was my idea to pay them and keep them, right? Even though they just got in trouble. This is the thing. And I asked this question, West Coast. If you could right now, I asked this in the article, if you could pay for them right now for cheap, knowing that what they got in trouble from or about, they won't get in trouble about no more, would you?
Hell
Everybody
yeah.
said yes. Everybody said yes. And now the day is here and we still saying we don't want them.
Hey, boss, tell him the best example ever gave is the Kennedys. Give him that example of the Kennedys.
Oh, yeah. And I also wrote this in the article, is that basically prohibition happened and the Kennedys, what built their wealth was the fact that they was ahead of the alcohol prohibition. So alcohol at one time was treated just as marijuana, where it was one of the fuelers of violence and gang violence and mafia violence and all that kind of stuff, killings and shootings and bootlegging and all that kind of stuff. It was driving it. So they finally legalized it. But guess who also made a deal with the president at the time? Papa Kennedy, right? So because he was head of it, he got wealthy from it. So that's the same example with David Irvin, Randy Gregory, Alden Smith, and a receiver from Seattle. I was saying, just like the Kennedys
Josh
did,
Gordon.
stockpile them. Yeah, Josh Gordon, stockpile them. Everybody that has problems, you already know that with this new CBA that is trending. And if you just look at the opinion trends on marijuana, the American people are tired of it. They tired of filling jails and paying taxes and feeding inmates on blue collar crimes. It's wasteful. The war on drugs is a failure on that one in particular. Like, take your resources. Most people in the American system are now saying, take your resources and put it on hard drugs. Put it on an opioid crisis. Stop fighting for blue collar and take it from a Schedule 1 drug down to a Schedule 2, where you're not going to cause people that were just casual users of marijuana and then criminalize those guys. It's a waste of talent. It's a waste of civic resources. It's a waste everywhere, and everybody's seeing it except some Cowboy fans. So at some point, we got to catch up. Like, we got to catch up and then change our whole opinion and say, now let's go all in on these guys, because with David Irvin, it's going to take patience. Like, of course, he out of shape, but look at his upside. Damn. Like, don't you want, like if the problem with him now is he's out of shape, then what's the solution? Get him in shape, damn it. Like, get him in shape. Like, get him on your team, ramp him up, put him in PX90, put your trainers around him, and get the guy in shape. Because we all know, just like Randy said, David said himself, I'm sorry I don't love football like Jason Garrett. He's so mad at me because he had to train his whole life just to be in the league, and I can roll out the bed and get 3 sacks. Well, it's just true. And I'm not going to be mad at a guy that's so good. I don't care if he don't love football. I just care that when he plays football that he's good.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I care about.
I doubt. I'm gonna tell you something too, because he's about to eat a piece of humble pie too. Because being away from football for a year and a half too, and losing as much weight as he's lost, he ain't gonna be able to do that no time soon. He gonna have to fight to get back, because the NFL done got better, the NFL done got faster. There's a lot of things that are going on differently. And you got to remember, David Irvin's been away from football longer than a year, because he didn't play until, I think he didn't in 2018. I think the last time he played was like week 6. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, he was hurt in 2018, even though he got suspended after the season. You know what I'm saying? Now, the last thing I want to talk about that's really big on this CB, and we're actually going to talk about it right after this commercial break, is it's going to call Tag You're It, because something huge is happening with the franchise tag. What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. Yo, in 2020, I've teamed up with my hot boy, Jalen Smith, number 54, to bring you guys some of the most exclusive eyewear known to man. CEV. I mean, everybody's wearing them. Make sure you guys go over to CEVcollection.com today and use promo code CEV West Coast to get yourself a hot boy discount today. What's up with you guys? We right back up in this beat. Hey man, how y'all doing today, man? We having a good day today, man. It's Sunday. The sound is all loud. Boss Cowboy got his lucky hat on, man. He on his DAC. You know, hey, when you wear a Dallas or anything that's like Texas, or is that Texas or is that starter?
Man, you know what it is. Come on, man.
I can't see. Let me look. I can't. Let me go over here.
But when it's me, you know what it is, bro. It's gonna be everything Dallas. It's gonna be the Mavericks, the Star. And I'm just so it's nothing on my head. There's never gonna not be Dallas.
I'm saying, was it an official Cowboys hat, or was you on your Dak stuff this morning? Because you know Dak, he be wearing Dallas hats.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
That's what I was saying. Like, was that like a hat that you bought?
Protest, because you know Dak be low key protesting. Yeah, he be low-key protesting. When he come out with his generic Dallas hats and his all black,
His
he basically
Dallas-
saying, I'm not rocking the
his
brand
Dallas
until I
liquor
get paid.
stores.
I'm not gonna help y'all. I'm not gonna help awareness on Dallas until y'all help me get my pocket.
Hey, boss, we call them the Dallas liquor stores. And if you notice, like, hey, and if you notice, like, Dak is being, like, this new agent, I like the way this new agent get down. You want to know why? Because if you notice, like, Dak's been wearing Dallas paraphernalia, but it ain't been Dallas Cowboys. So what he's showing you is like, yo, they're tripping, not me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And then when they really tried to muddy Dak's name, oh, that bastard, he wants $40 million. That bastard. You know what Dak said? Hey, you know what I'm gonna do? Hey man, I'm gonna give Beats $300 headphones to a team that's 2-2. Why? Because they're gonna be playing against the New York such and suches, and it doesn't matter. He said in the note, he basically said, I don't give a damn if y'all playing if it's the Dallas Renegades versus the New Yorks, whop bam de boos. That is an important game, and Dallas always beats New York. You know what he was saying? I'm repping the city, but them dudes over there with them stars on their head, they tripping. You know what I'm saying? So I like that because Jerry Jones,
and he's been on that for a while. It's just most haven't peeped it.
And I'm gonna tell you something. That's actually something that, because I'm gonna tell you, Zeke's agent did a really good job of fighting for him, but he didn't really do a good job of bandaging that stuff as he was fighting it. Because Zeke came back and y'all still hated him. Y'all still didn't like him. You know what I'm saying? But I like that. I actually like it now. I like this that Dak is fighting back on some of this stuff when they're trying to say him, oh, Dak is not doing this, Dak ain't doing it. Man, Dak is putting it back out there and saying, man, I'm rocking for the city, but they not rocking for me. But hey, man,
that's what he's saying.
Something very important happened with this new CBA and Instagram. We're about to go down in 10 seconds on Instagram, so don't trip. I'll just go back up loud. They're gonna it's going to go down, but it'll come right back up as soon as it goes down, so don't trip. But, yo, as of today, there is only one franchise tag. There is no more transition tag anymore, so you only have the one exclusive tag. So all that Dak is $26 million. I don't even know why y'all was even freaking believing people or even, like, hearing people when they said that. But, yeah, there's only an exclusive tag, and you only got one now. So the question is, tag, you're it, man. Who is getting a contract today? Because somebody better get a contract today. You there with me, boss? Yeah. So yeah, without so that's what. So let me tell you. Let me read it real quick. What's officially happened, so you guys can know the officials. It says, okay, so the new CBA will run through 2030 season and will allow teams to only use one franchise or transition tag. So you have both tags. You can either do the transition tag or the exclusive tag, but you can only use one. And under this new franchise, you can use both of them. So that's part of the reason why I think that's another reason why the Dallas Cowboys were kind of holding off, because they didn't understand were they going to have two tags or were they going to have one. You know what I'm saying? But now they know for a fact that they're only going to have one tag. So with that means that teams such as the Dallas Cowboys will only be able to use one tag on either Dak Prescott or Amari Cooper ahead of Monday's designation of the deadline. Now think about this. You know what that means? That means this. If you give Amari Cooper the tag, Dak Prescott is a free agent. You with me, boss?
Oh, man, I'm all the way with you.
Okay.
Just keep preaching, bro.
So I need to know, if you give Amari Cooper the franchise tag tomorrow, what does that mean for Dak Prescott?
He's a free agent.
If I give the tag to Dak Prescott, what does that mean tomorrow for Amari Cooper?
Free agent.
You mean free agent meaning he can just go pick whatever team he wants to play for?
That means that mean all the people with the red roses that been trying to make him the bachelor.
But what happened to we can just trade Dak for 2 first-round picks? What happened to that? What happened to all that crap we told y'all did not exist? What happened to that, boss?
Those were the people that really believed that Dak some kind of way wasn't worth $33 million, and that really believed that there are teams out there that don't want Dak. So the Dallas Cowboys actually showed y'all that they know that teams want Dak when they put out that if they do tag Dak, it will be the exclusive. So when they said that, and so you got to understand the difference. And a lot of people,
that means you're not even going to get a chance to.
Exactly. And I want to explain that because a lot of people don't know the difference in the 3 tags. So exclusive means that basically it's going to be the average of the top 5 salaries, but at the same time, you're not going to be able to, the player that's under the exclusive tag won't be able to talk to other teams. The non-exclusive would have allowed Dak to talk or a player to talk to other teams. But if they sign or if they make an offer sheet to him, Dallas would have the first rights of refusal. And under the first rights of refusal, if Dallas doesn't match that deal, that team would have to give Dallas then 2 first rounders, right? The transition tag is the average of 10, okay? But which then allows Dak or whatever player to go into the open market, and then Dallas still has the first rights of refusal, but there's no
Get up on Instagram if you can.
There's no first rounders to trade if Dallas refuses to match. So you got to think of it and try to take those technical terms and make it more common sense, right? And try to think of it on just general business, right? From this standpoint, if you're thinking about it on general business and you really believe that, like, and I put it like this in layman's terms, if you believe your wife is fine, you never go let her go out the house and go to the club every night with a see-through thong on, with a see-through dress, because you know guys gonna be out. Like, Dallas really knows that Dak is all that. That's why they put an exclusive tag on it, you know. So, and it's a risk even in that. So what that says is we're gonna really see right now what type of ball Dallas want to play, because if they really want to play ball, it's a deadline on 2 players and it's an urgency on 2 players, Cooper and Dak. So one of them either got to get signed or Dallas has really got something else in mind. And we getting ready to see within the next 24 hours.
Yeah, man. And you know what sucks is you put yourself in a position where your back is up against the wall for no freaking reason. Because you know what you could have did? You could have just signed your quarterback. Like, it makes no sense to know in your back of your head. This is basically like my homeboy who be like, bro, I love her, bro. We live together, bro. We got 4 kids together, bro. We got a retirement plan, bro. We go on vacations, bro. I'd be like, well, bro, then just marry her then. Why are you telling me about your girlfriend? Marry her. because why? What are you missing out on, bruh? What are you missing out on? Like, y'all been together. You understand the value that you have in that. So you should have just married him. Because guess what? Now you are in a realistic position where you could either lose one of them or you will have to overpay for one of them. You want to know why? Because now you're adding other people into the equation.
Yep.
Because now think about this. If we had an agreement with, because I'm Dak Prescott with this new CBA, I'm for sure not signing no contract with you. Why? Because if you tag goddamn Amari Cooper, I'm going out there. And guess what? Didn't Indianapolis just say a month ago that if Dak Prescott is available, we will give him $35 million?
Bro, it's already happening. The Titans agreed to terms on a contract extension with Ryan Tannehill. Bro,
how much they give him?
See, this is the risk.
How much they give him? We need to know how much they gave him.
Yeah, they ain't say how much yet, but this is the risk of all these dumb tag games, bro. Because we warned about this. We warned about.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, if he has to be under $34 million,
like 32 or 33, you're automatically gonna push Dak markets up.
Yeah, because Tannehill, bro, listen to this. Tannehill, listen, I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. If Tannehill if he got anything close to like $33-40 million, we're screwed. You want to know why? Because he's only got 12 games,
bruh.
He got paid off 12 games.
You just increased Dak's price right now. So all you silly heads over here, go give him a cent more of $33 million. The whole time y'all been trying to get him to haggle over 33 and 34.
Oh my God.
You just push the price up right now. You just did today. So like, I swear, man. I swear. And it's getting ready to get worse. Because guess what? And I've been warning this. This is the problem with this haggling, trying to make Dak team friendly, because it's running the risk of allowing other quarterbacks to get in front. 4 quarterbacks pushed the market up $6 million last year. And Dak did nothing but wait. And him waiting, he got more money just by waiting. And dumb people say, hey, Dak, he's only worth 30. No, he's worth more than 30 because the bottom right now is 33.6. And it's getting ready to go up even more because the more quarterbacks that sign, the more his price is going to be. So it's, oh, man. So sometimes you, instead of being angry, you just gotta laugh. And that's why I say Dallas test metal getting ready to get tested. Cause I knew it. I say they go sign, and then Tannehill is one of 8 that's gonna likely be signed. You still got Bridgewater, you still got Breeze, you still got Tom Brady, you still got Watson, you still got Mahomes. If 4 quarterbacks jacked up the market last year, what is 8 quarterbacks gonna do? What is 8 quarterbacks gonna do? And now with this new CBA, every agent has factored in the new growth of the league. So these new quarterback contracts are going to likely be higher than 33 and 34 and 35 and 36. So that means it's going to push Dak average up even more. and remember this, for everybody that's finally watching this show, it's been a big push to not pay Dak over 33. This whole fight has been a difference of $1 million. And this price, if we keep playing a tag game, just in 1 year alone, it's going to move up a minimum of $8 to $9 million over a fight over $1 million.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to look for contract details.
It ain't out yet, but it's gonna be out soon. And if he come out at 33 or 34, I promise, ooh wee, it better be 30 or 31 or 32. But don't be surprised if Tannehill comes out with a market-setting contract. And if he set the market, boy, that gonna be pissed. Ooh, he gonna be pissed. And Tannehill might not be the person that sets the market. He might be right below market. But if he set the market, ooh,
my thing is this, man. My thing is this. Out of all the quarterbacks that are available to get signed, man, freaking Tannehill should not have been the first quarterback signed. I think his contract, if worst case scenario, will be the bottom. It'll be his contract is gonna be the bottom. He played 12 games, and honestly, man, I don't even it just lets you really understand that how other teams view their quarterback and how we view ours. Because bro, he gave them 12 games. 12 games. Dak has played 59 games.
Yeah,
59
bro, we pissed
games.
On Dak. We are pissing on Dak.
50. And then think about this. Tannehill looked the best he's ever looked in his career in the same season when the NFL rushing leader was on the team. What a coincidence. Ooh. And then how did Tannehill look in the playoffs? Bro, think about this. And I'm not trying to crap on him because I believe that, and I tell boss this, you don't got to piss on another man to grow another person. You don't got to piss on somebody to build somebody else. You don't got to do that. But I will say this, man, man, y'all got to, as a Cowboy fan, man, y'all got to look at fans 59 games. This dude didn't been in the star 59 games, and you still don't know if you want to pay him. This dude played 12 games, and they paid him. And think about this, in the playoffs, in the 2 wins in the playoffs, the running back ran the ball 33 times one game and 32 times the next game. Man. 30, that's 63 carries on the running back, bruh. You think they won them games him throwing the ball? No, they ran them balls because Derrick Henry. And then think about this, the one game in the playoffs they lost, how many carries did Derrick Henry get? And just like West Coast predicted it, I predicted that he stay under 100 yards, and they lost. So think about this. Tannehill showed one thing, and that is this. When he don't got a running back that rush over 100 yards, he can't win you a game because he sure didn't do it in the playoffs. Bro, you can't, I'm sorry, bro. Tannehill should not have been. They ain't even signed the dude. Think about this. They haven't even signed Derrick Henry. Man,
when these numbers come out, all I know is it better not set the market. If it set the market, bro,
I'm gonna keep it real. I honestly think he got bent over because, bro, there's no reason for him to be getting signed. They haven't even signed Derrick Henry. You're gonna tell me?
Thomas says that he settled, but
yes,
but if he signs, let's say if he comes out with one of these deals like a 32. But 113 guaranteed type
that's disrespectful.
Deal.
Anything in the 30s, anything in the 30s is disrespectful. That's disrespect. I don't even like Carson Wentz, but that's disrespectful to Carson Wentz.
Oh my!
I don't even like Carson Wentz, but you disrespect.
So I got an instant message from Buddha. He said it came out to 29. Man, it went away. So it's in the 29s. So he settled, and that's cool. See, but what they should do. If I'm Dallas,
but boss, think about this.
Do this.
Woo, but you still can't even wipe your brow because, bro, how does a guy get paid?
Hold on. Let me tell you why I wipe my brow, because he didn't set the market.
Yeah, but still, but think about this. he still kind of did set a market. Because think about this. Your pay-by-game, right? I'm gonna show you. Because even though he didn't go above Bam, he really did. Because if you take a calculator, $29 million divided by 16 games, because that's what it was a number off the, well, it'd be 17 off this new contract. That's like $1.8 million per game. $1.8 million per game. At $33 million per game, at $33 million, that's $1.9 million per game. If you look at what you're getting and what he gave you to get that, you're telling me Dak had to play 59 games to get something even close, to get $4 million more than you? That's setting the market. That's equivalent of me telling you, boss, okay, boss, you can work 2 days a week and I'm going to pay you $1,000 a week. But West Coast, he got to work 6 days a week. And I'm going to still pay him that $1,000. Who's making more money? The dude that's working less. Who got the advantage? The one who's working less. Dak had to pay $59 and 59 games and he still ain't got paid. Like that is just unheard of. Jimmy G got $26 million a year for 10 games. Dak gave you 59 and makes $2 million for 4 years. Divide $2 million by 58. You know what that is? My boy Dak Prescott was making a whopping like $200K a game. While guys who did 12 games are going to be making $1.8, $2 million? Like, no, I'm sorry. 12 games should not have gotten you $29 million. No, 12 games should have got you a franchise tag. That's what the 12 games should have got you.
That boy Teddy, exactly.
It should have got you a franchise tag because you don't know.
He robbed him. Hey, but this the deal.
But you get what I mean, boss? Like, he should not have gotten a deal.
And see, listen, I don't see if I'm Dallas, I'm still wiping my head from this, like, because generally. But
you get what you get where I'm coming from, though, right?
No, I totally get it. I get it. Now, this is the deal. If I'm Dallas.
Leah says Dak should be pissed. He should be, because you're looking. No, and I'm gonna tell you, you know who Dak's pissed at right now? The organization. Because once again,
but check this out, though.
You're like, bro, that's disrespectful, bro.
If Dallas don't get right now, if Dallas don't understand, like literally, like tomorrow, Watson could be signed, right? If you want to play with your mortgage, go ahead, like play with your mortgage, because Tannehill was like a bullet that dodged. Because technically he didn't set the market. Like for what you standpoint is, it's insulting that he got paid. And from your example, yeah, you can like use. Yeah,
I'm talking from it is insulting. You're talking about a number. I get what you're saying from a numbers aspect. It's still lower, but I'm looking at it like
from the
he
numbers
shouldn't even
they
be getting paid.
Bullet, because if anybody gets signed, let's say if Bridgewater gets signed, let's say for 33. Or anything like 32 or anything, or set the market in any area or even get close. Boy, Dallas is gonna be really, they go have a bosom at a fire. So if this don't tell Dallas to go ahead and set the market, because Dallas got everything they want. They know the numbers of the CBA, they know they're getting ready to get more revenues, they know whatever they pay Dak over market is gonna be under market and greatly under market in the next 2 years when the television revenues kick in. They already know all that. So it's like you just saw Tannehill name come across the ticker, and they know their heart dropped when they saw it.
And that lets you know that, and think about this, boss, that lets you know that every single quarterback from here on out should be at $30 million. Because 29, think about this, like, for any of y'all out there that was thinking, oh, Dak should get 20, I'll give him 20. Like, bro, $30 million is not realistic because a guy who just played 12 games got 29. So that should let you know that 30 is not realistic for Dak.
No.
That's not realistic, because you're going to tell me Dak is worth only $1 million worth more than a guy who only played 12 games? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, this is what, and honestly, if I'm a Tennessee Titans fan, I'm telling y'all, why did we pay him? Why didn't we franchise tag him? Like, see what he can do for a full season first. Yeah, why are you going to commit to him? That's what the franchise
tag would have been smart, because you trying to make sure you're not a one
Trick
a
pony.
12-game wonder, especially with a track record of finally hitting after being in the league for a very long time.
Thank you. And now you all
So
of a
it's
sudden
like,
get it together.
because we did it with Tank, and I actually agreed with the first tag on Tank.
I
'cause
did
it was
too.
like,
Because you didn't
you
know.
busted out. Like when you bust out, let's make sure that this is not a fluke, you know. And a tag, yes, it's go cost us more next year. But if he was a bust, that would cost us more over the lifetime of his contract. So yeah, I mean, but if that don't push Dallas right now, the fact that they signed Tannehill so fast,
That you're
to
looking
say, you know what, let's just go ahead and pay him the 34 million and give him the 111, 112 total
because boss.
guarantee.
Yep. Because boss, how many times you gonna dodge how many times that bullet gonna graze by your head?
Man,
How many times that bullet gonna because you're not gonna tell me for about 2 seconds Jerry Jones' booty hole got this tight.
No,
you for like 2 seconds.
You saw me, I was going crazy. I was over here.
Yeah,
like,
because
boy,
you're
if
like
that number come out at 32 or 33, boy, I'm kicking a wall.
Yeah, but boss, this is the equivalent of you looking at your lottery ticket and and it's all the way down to the last number and you holding on to your baby like, we got this, baby. And say the three, say the three. 4. Oh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, yeah. that's what we're saying. Like, that's how close you got a bullet. Because think about this. A guy like Bridgewater is going to be like, yeah, I'm way worth more than $29 million. Like all those Teddy Bridge. Like, I'm going to tell you guys this. Tom Brady is not taking less than $30 million. 29. Nope. Bridgewater is not taking less than $30 million. Tannehill just got a bunch of other guys paid too. Because Bridgewater's guaranteed $30 million now. Tom is guaranteed $30 million.
Oh, yeah.
Drew Brees.
Oh, Bridgewater is like, don't even talk to me unless you, because you know
they're all guaranteed $30 million now. All of them.
Yeah, you got to get that up to 31, 32 talking to me.
So and
that's what Bridgewater's saying right now, because Bridgewater resume is better.
Yeah. My boy says, Dak ain't worth $40 million. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, I'm going to tell you this, though. Dak is worth $40 million. I'm going to tell you why. Because at the end of the day, any contract can be structured anyway. You know what I'm saying? So for you to just say a blanket statement, that's like me coming into your job and saying you make $12. You're not worth $18. You are worth $18 if you give me $18 worth of work. I wouldn't tell you at your job that you're not worth a double on your raise. If you're going to give me double work, I'll pay you double pay because you're worth it. Like, this is the thing that you guys need to understand. You're never overpaying for something if you're getting what you're paying for. So like this, if you pay $5,000 a month for a Lamborghini payment, but then you go out on the track and you drive it really fast and you enjoy the car, boss, are you really overpaying or are you getting what you paid for? Like, my thing is this. If you pay Dak $40 million and he give me $40 million worth of quarterbacking, you got what you paid for. Now, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Nobody in the NFL right now is worth $40 million a year. You want to know why? Because we have what's called a salary cap. And at $40 million, one person will take up 18%. That is unprecedented at any position. So to be honest with you,
it's 20.
Oh, damn. Yeah. No, like, think about this. Our entire offensive line takes up 33% of our salary cap. That's technically 6 people. 6 people take up 33% of our cap. You're going to tell me you're going to give a contract that's going to put someone at 20 by themselves? No.
Yeah, and this is the deal, because the historical, what most people don't know, is the historical for any franchise quarterback has been 16%.
Yeah, you give someone 20% of your cap,
franchise
nobody, no player.
Paying a quarterback 20%, 21, 22%.
Nobody's
worth $40 million. And I'm gonna put it like this, since they saying the word worth, because a lot of people say words and they don't really know what they mean. When you say worth, you're talking about return on investment. The best return on investment in terms of finances is Dak Prescott.
Yep.
Like, because Jerry Jones on Brandon and the 13 national endorsements is alleged to make about $125 million on just Dak. So let me ask you a question. Would you spend $40 million to make $125 million? Absolutely. And you would do it 1 million times.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about business, yes, he's worth $40 million. Now, other quarterbacks not going to be worth that much, but Dak is definitely worth that much. And then he's worth that much according to this new CBA. Because even if you paid him $40 million, and especially if you spread it out over 7 to 8 years or 6 years, even 6 years, by the time the revenues kick in, from the television deals, once they close that out, they talking about a spike in the revenues of maybe 40 to 50 to 60 million all at once. And see that people not understanding that the average cap gain was only 10 million per year for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So you talking about like 6 years worth of cap space in 1 year.
Yeah.
So that automatically is gonna take the percentage of the cap if you paid him 40 from 20 to down to 13 to 12%, which then make Dak a super steal.
Hey,
So it's like
yeah.
people got to look into more of the details than just he's not worth 35 or 30, 36 or 40. You got to look at the whole picture. The fact that we are right at the beginning of the CBA is why you would really want to go ahead and stop haggling over $1 million and say, let's pay him 34 to 36, get this deal out the way. Because when these new revenues come in, that's gonna be a super steal. Like it's gonna be backup money. Like 34 million in the next 3 years is literally gonna be backup quarterback money. And nobody gonna be crying about 34, 35, 36, or even 40 million in the next 3 years when the quarterback's gonna be making like 50 and 60 million.
I don't know if it's gonna be backup money, but I know it's gonna be it's gonna be like
it's gonna be
like
money
B class
3 to 4 years. Because remember, we talking about a big gain all at once. So
yeah, but I'm just
So 16% of 260 million, which would be the new cap. And if it's 2 years from now, you got to at least put another 80 on that. So somebody with a calculator, do 16% of 280 million.
Well, 10% of that is 200 is 28 million, and 28 plus 28 is what, 36. And you would take 4% off of that, so it should be about 31.
It got to be higher than that. 280 with 16%?
No, I'm saying 3. It's 3. It's 300. I'm 301, 310, I think. But you know, I mean, I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying. But I'm just saying, like, you know, you also got. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater got $7 million to be a backup. You know, if 34 ain't a backup price, I know 20, 25 will definitely be a backup money. And you guys also got to remember that they have to put this money back into the players. Why? Because under the new CBA agreement, the players have a 48% split on all revenue. So whatever the NFL brings in, the players get 48% of it. You know what I'm saying? The reason why the NFL,
it's 44 million. I was way too high.
Okay, yeah. So But yeah, long story short, you know, but I got what you're saying, because you got, like I said, Teddy Bridgewater got paid $7 million to be a backup. 7. And think about this. That's with them not even knowing if he's gonna even play a game. That's how I knew that Teddy Bridgewater was not getting no $20 million. That's not enough. When someone pays you $7 million to hold a clipboard, when you do something, you're gonna get $31 million. And I honestly think, and the crazy thing about it is, like, I think quarterbacks like Dak and Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes should not be in the same category as, like, Tannehill and Teddy Bridgewater. Why? Because they didn't even play the same amount of games. Like, how can you evaluate them the same way? Like, they didn't even play the same amount of games. That's why I've been saying that, like, free agency is going to be better than the draft, is because what? At least free agency has film against other pros. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what these guys are going to do when they get here. You know what I'm saying? But it's just amazing me. It's amazing to me how some teams, like the franchise tag is supposed to be something that's supposed to be feared. You know what I'm saying? Where the Dallas Cowboys, we started talking about the franchise tag like week 15. We were still in last year's season talking about, Dak's probably going to get the free franchise tag. What? Where other teams don't want to. They're thinking in their head, if we have to give our player the franchise tag, that means we're doing something wrong. We could not communicate. We couldn't get a contract. Where realistically, guys like Wentz, that would have been a perfect situation to franchise tag him, because you don't know. Derrick Henry, honestly, I wouldn't even franchise Derrick Henry. Why? Because at least you know. I wouldn't franchise a running back, guaranteed. What if you get hurt? That's $14 million coming right out your tab. That's right out the gate. Derrick Henry does not deserve to be enumerated in the same fashion as Ezekiel Elliott. No, he doesn't. He does not. Let's just be real. He doesn't. And think about this. Before we get out of here, Dak, can I tell you a scary story? Boss Cowboy, imagine if you woke up today and not only did you have to sign one Dak Prescott, and not only did you have to sign one Amari Cooper, but you also have to sign one Ezekiel Elliott, and you only have one tag. Do you guys know we're losing one of them for sure? If Zeke doesn't re-sign last year, bro, we probably lose him, bro. Because how do you only have one franchise tag? What are you going to do? Pay a running back, a wide receiver, and a quarterback all in the same day? Some of y'all owe Zeke an apology because he actually helped this organization out last year. He definitely helped us out today. Boss Cowboy, let him know something before you get up out of here, man.
Yeah, we gonna know within 24 hours what type of game.
Thank you for them stars, Natalie. I mean, Leah. I read your middle name. I'm sorry. Go ahead, boss.
I mean, yeah, we definitely getting ready to know within 24 hours what type of games that Dallas is actually playing. Because I'm still actually like real life shocked right now. That it's not done. I'm like shocked because
they should be on the phone, bro. They should be on the phone.
Right now, with the latest stuff that they've been going back and forth with, like 33 and 105 total guarantee and all that kind of stuff, like literally you can make Dak the highest paid quarterback by just going up only $6 million on your total guarantee to 111 in total guarantee. And it's the last thing I'm going to say before we check out of here. Because I hear a lot of people say stuff like Dak shouldn't be the highest paid and stuff like that. Whenever the Dallas Cowboys is basically trying to make any player, because they tried this with Zeke too, to take a team-friendly deal, this is what's going on. They are asking that agent to commit career suicide. And most people don't understand that. No agent with a player like Dak Prescott is going to take a team-friendly deal because they would never recruit another player a day in their life. It wouldn't happen. And the Jones and them know that. And it's like, so you got to submit to the market pressures with a player like Dak Prescott. And if you don't, you go raise your own price. And it's really that simple. It's really about you just got to say, you know what, this is how the market works. Because the market is basically like if you go down to the supermarket and you want some gum, you know that's the price for gum because the market dictates it. But see, in this market of buying and selling, the agents dictate it because the agents are the drivers of these prices. So we getting ready to see if we stupidly stubborn or if we smart. Because if we smart, Cooper or Dak should be signed in 24 hours and the other should be tagged. And if we really smart, both of them should be signed within 24 hours.
We got YL, the official, on IG. He says they're going to wait until 11:59 Dallas time. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to do.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I wouldn't be surprised at all because, like, one thing about rich people is when they don't want to do something, they do it in a way that kind of lets you know that I didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I know this. There's going to be some organizations that the Dallas Cowboys are very smart and they're very intuitive, but they're very stubborn. And there are organizations who are very smart and very intuitive, and they're not stubborn. Julio Jones said to the Atlanta Falcons, I'm not coming to work unless you pay me, dog. You know what they said? Slide this $3 million check over there, Julio. Come on to work. Like some teams, they're not about to play that. Like they understand, like not even that they understand, but I really think that some players, like when you haven't won a Super Bowl, you still be in that mindset of like, bro, I don't give a damn. I'm not about to let $3 million stop me from getting my first ever. We're trying to get our sixth. You know what I'm saying? Sixth. That's why Philadelphia, the hungriest Philadelphia ever was. I'm going to tell you when it was 2 years ago when they won the Super Bowl. They went all in. Everybody got paid. Oh, you want to get paid? Don't trip. We got you. Why? Because nothing can replace the taste of trying to get that first one. Now we are a business, man. And when you're a business, guess what? You're a businessman. And I feel that sometimes the Dallas Cowboys they float through things through their heads and make them wonder, is this a good business move or is this a good football move? I'm going to tell you this, Dallas Cowboys, if you don't get Dak Prescott signed, I'm going to tell y'all, man, there are teams. And I know the last thing I'm going to say about this is this. If you think a team will give Ryan Tannehill $29 million, won't look at Dak and be like, we will pay you, you're smoking.
You smoking.
Ryan Tannehill just proved that I'm going to be honest with you. This is what Ryan Tannehill just proved. that probably every team that has a quarterback available probably wants Dak Prescott. It's just a matter of where he is on their board. Dak's name is on every team that has a need for a quarterback. Dak Prescott's on their board, including the Cincinnati Bengals. Dak's on their board somewhere. It's just a matter of where he's at. Joe Burrow may be there. Another free agent guy may be there. But Dak, he's there somewhere. If Tannehill is getting $29 million after they gave him away from Miami, if he can get paid, bruh, Dak got some people out there. I think Dak got someone that will overpay him. I honestly, I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. I believe Dak got a team out there that'll give him that $40 million. I believe it. You want to know why? Because they know how to count like West Coast and Boss. And when you know how to count,
it's simple. Yeah, it would be.
You're like, wait, and then think about this,
would.
And then think about this, boss. If he goes to like somewhere like Indianapolis and they give him $40 million, guess what? Their media is not as big as Dallas. They're gonna be mad one whole day, and they won't be nearly as mad as they were when their franchise quarterback quit on them. So guess what? They would gladly give Dak $40 million. You want to know why? Because they know for a fact he's going to be healthy and he's not going to walk off the field and say, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. So a team like Indianapolis, they'll give him $40 million. And their whole team, their whole fan base will be standing arm in arm protecting Dak. No, he is our quarterback. While the Dallas Cowboys is over here like, no, we don't know, Dak. We don't know, Dak. We just don't know. We just don't know. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now, man. Connoisseurs Rex is bad right now. But if we don't sign our quarterback, man, it's as if the season did not begin because we do not have time to go get a quarterback that's gonna give you the same quality as Dak Prescott. Do not allow the devil to sell you on that. If that's the one thing you get from this show, do not allow the devil to sell you on that lie. And that is that if the Dallas Cowboys don't sign Dak Prescott, that we can put someone in his place that will get us and keep us at where we are right now, because that is not possible. Don't let yourself believe that. And you know what I hear, boss? Because what I've heard from the nation is this: there is a certain point where people will be like, "Oh hell no, we can find somebody." Oh, Dak won $40 million. Oh yeah, we'll find somebody at that price. Oh yeah, Jerry will find me a quarterback. No, he won't. No, he won't. If that's the case, why did Cleveland Browns didn't do it? Why did Cleveland Browns take them 13 quarterbacks? 9 of them were first-round picks. And then think about this. They're still in questions about the guy that they have right now. Right now.
Yeah.
And you think Jerry's going to do that in what? March 15th? And also, by the way, Boss Cowboy, did I let you know that you can't go out on any pro days this year? Oh, yeah. Did I also let you know that the draft's probably going to get pushed back? And also, isn't Jerry a kind of old guy? That means this coronavirus makes him a little bit more susceptible. I mean, I'm just saying, bruh. I'm just saying. It sounds like the year that y'all want us to go get a quarterback, it don't sound like we're going to be able to go out there and just, like, go find a quarterback. Why? Because you can't even – I mean, last thing I checked, I can't even leave the house. So, boss, how are we going to go find this quarterback that we're supposed to replace Dak with if we don't sign him? Where do we find this quarterback? We might be able to do it next year. But I want to know, how do we do that this year? There ain't no diamonds in the rough because you can't even go see them.
Yeah, see,
this ain't the year, bro.
See why L so right on what he said that it's gonna be at 11:59, because that's talking about the ego of owners. Like, for instance, a perfect example is Russell Wilson put that mandate out there and said, if they don't pay me by April 15th, I'm not gonna have any more talks about this contract, and I'm going to be a free agent next year. That was an ultimatum that he put on Seattle. And he didn't say nothing else about it. He went quiet. And so because of the pride, to your point, West Coast, they paid him
that was wild.
August 16th at 2 in the morning. To say, we didn't pay him on the 15th. We paid him on the 16th. So, like, yeah, so, you know, YL, he definitely hit that tea leaf right. You know what I mean? That you go see some type of anger about, which is a sort of anger point, because that's what that whole Zeke Who was about. It was angry that you really trying to hold our feet to the fire from us trying to hold your feet to the fire. They was angry about that. Zeke Who?
Yeah. And for y'all people saying, and for y'all people
I've earned the right.
Yeah, and for y'all people that are saying that we have Cooper Rush, the Dallas Cowboys do not have. Yeah, we do not have Cooper Rush under contract. Cooper Rush got tendered Tendered means we told the world what we want for him. That is not giving someone a contract. Cooper Rush does not have a contract with the Dallas Cowboys. And to be honest with you, are we really talking about Cooper Rush?
They talking about him.
Like, are you are you serious? Are you really talking about Cooper
serious.
Rush?
It's some of our fans.
Like, are you serious?
Some of our fans really over here putting Dak and Cooper Rush on the same level.
That's the disrespect.
You read that right.
That's
and they disrespecting to that level too, man.
That dude's never played in a regular season game. Never.
And trust me, that person that said that, he don't believe in Cooper Rush like that. I bet you $1 million he's a Romo Coke member, because Romo Coke members say stuff like that. So it's a difference between a Romo supporter and love Romo, and there's a lot of fans of us that hate Dak because of Romo, and they just go through all kind of hoops to insult Dak, like saying Cooper Rush is good enough. That's just crazy. And that's just what it is. And
you haven't even seen him.
For Joe Tricino in Italy. My boy Joe said, I'll be on my computer to the end of March. We're on complete lockdown in Italy. Complete lockdown, he said. Complete. It's a westernized country with an American and a follower of us, Joe Tricino.
Yeah, no, he
from
asked me,
Texas.
He said it right. He said it earlier. He was like, yo, can y'all go live later on tonight? Because I'm stuck in the house. I was thinking like, yeah, we probably will, because we're probably going to have to go live later on tonight, because I can almost guarantee you now that Tannehill is falling and everybody knows what the bottom is, it's about to be some folks talking. There's about to be some stuff coming out. Like, today is going to be the NFL is going to rule today because there's no NBA, there's no nothing. So this would be a good day. This would be a good day. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. This will be a good day for Jerry Jones to say something about Dak, because he's going to rule the airways, because there's no NBA, there's no nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's no nothing. You know what I'm saying? He says Rush is a yes man and Jerry loves those. Yeah, he do. And he don't even play enough to even be considered like a player. Like, that's like, think about this. We had games week 17 that he could have played, and guess what? Dak played. Even in week 17 games where Zeke didn't play, Dak still played. So that lets you know what they really feel about Cooper Rush. Like, Cooper Rush, in my opinion, is a guy who doesn't mind being a backup. And to be honest with you, those aren't really the backups you want. Those are Jason Garrett types. Like, you don't ever want a guy who's okay with being a backup. You want to know why? Because he'll never push your starter. Like, let's just be real. You honestly think Jason Garrett really pushed Troy Aikman? No, he did not. He was happy with keeping his job. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. You want guys who push the backup. Like, bro, I'm better than you. I'm just waiting for my opportunity. That's what you're looking for. Like, that's what you're really looking for. You want a backup that's like, yo, as soon as I love you, bro, as soon as you get hurt, I'm going to cry, and then I'm going to go out there and I'm going to lead them to a victory. That's what you want in a backup. Like, I'm going to cry, I'm going to pray for you, and then I'm going to go out there and I'm going to lead them to a victory, and I'm going to keep your job. That's what you want. You know what I'm saying? Because in this society, you keep what you kill. You better ask Dak Prescott. When Dak Prescott went in there, he went out there, he killed it, and he kept it. You know what I'm saying? This is a hunter mentality. You go out there in the world, you kill it, you keep it. You know what I'm saying? That's how we work around here. You already know what it is, though, man. Hey, let me give y'all one more commercial break before we get up out of here, man, because we got to thank the Lord for CEV, man, for keeping us on. Appreciate my boy Jalen Smith, my boy If over there, man. Out there in Dallas, man, rocking number 54, Jalen Smith. I appreciate you, bro, for taking a chance on a young page, some young bloggers, and supporting your boy West Coast and Boss. Also, shout out to them Hot Boys, man. Them Hot Boys. The Hot Boys, you already know what it is, man. So you already know. Shout out to them Hot Boys. Shout out to my boy, Producer G, man. We got something real special coming to you guys on Tuesday. We're going to be starting it here in a little bit. It's going to help be a whole new look and feel, but we're going to keep you guys up to date. Hey, and most importantly, shout out to the supporter nation. Remember, if you guys want to be a supporter, all you got to do is hit that Become a Supporter tab in the middle. We do a supporter call chat every single morning, at least Monday through Friday, and we talk about everything that is Dallas Cowboy football. I even talk about a little, it's only about 15, 20 minutes, but it's just like my real raw and uncut thoughts. And then also you guys get to ask as many questions, and we just, a lot of times we end up talking about like whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it's always a really, really good time, and we have good content. Hey, yo, also happy birthday to my hot boy Daniel Ross. I ain't forget about you, man. I see you, man. Number 93 on the Dallas Cowboys. Hope to have him back. But yo, hey, you already know what it is, man. Never look down because the stars up. Peace. What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. Yo, in 2020, I've teamed up with my hot boy, Jalen Smith, number 54, to bring you guys some of the most exclusive eyewear known to man. CEV. I mean, everybody's wearing them. Make sure you guys go over to CEVcollection.com today and use promo code CEV West Coast to get yourself a hot boy discount today.
Thank you for watching West Coast. This is Antoine Woods.
Thanks for watching West Coast. Go Cowboys.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us with Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate it.
My man West Coast from this buck.
Thank you for watching West Coast.
Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know, it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
Did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!